Trying to get your woodworking business off the ground when you've got such a little footprint is really hard. So when I was approached by a local school with a last minute project, I thought what better opportunity to get my name out there, show people what I can do. I didn't want to keep it too simple, so I've used a different material to normal. I've jazzed it up with a little bit of detail, and I'm trying to show people what I can do to give them the confidence to trust me with their projects. Stick around to the end where you will see what materials I've used, the time I've put in. You'll see the mistakes that I've made yet again, and also what reaction there was to the piece, and did this help expand the footprint of my business. So the brief for this project's really simple. There's a fun run going on at my local school and they want a photo opportunity at the end for the children. So for this, I've selected a sheet of leftover MDF that I've got. I'm going to make an enlarged photo frame and decorate it with some detail and also the school logo. Now the first thing to consider is the size. It needs to be big enough for one, maybe even two children, but I've got to remember that some are as small as 5, so I don't want this to be too heavy and too bulky so they can't use it. So whilst I'm measuring out, I've got my laser running in the background. It's making some templates as a school logo because these are going to come in handy much later on. One of the things I'm finding really handy as I try to get this business up and going is that machines like lasers can be working on one job whilst you're working on something else. This doubles the amount of productivity that you can have in a quick day in your workshop. Now the premise for this is quite simple. I'm going to make a square with an inner square cut out where the faces are going to go. In the top corner I want to put on the school logo, but instead of just having it laid over the top, I want it sticking out of the end. That way it just changes the shape and stops everything looking so square and boxy. So this thing's coming together nicely. You can see the frame clearly on the outside. The centre part is going to be taken out shortly. And in this top right hand corner, here's where the mascot for the school's going to go. Obviously that's just a cheeky drawing for now, but it'll look much better when it's all finished. Time to start moving on with the cuts. And for this I've got out my poor man's track saw. This thing is awesome at making straight line cuts. Now this is where things got a little bit tricky. For the inside cuts I couldn't come in directly from the edge. I had to make a plunge cut and drop the saw in. Using the straight line of the poor man's track saw was great for this. It added loads of stability and made this a really viable cut for this situation. Now once you've made a cut, it's as easy as turning your piece around, realigning your track and cutting the next line. I've left this footage in real time because I want you to see how easy this is and how something as simple as a straight edge jig that you can make yourself for free helps improve your processes in your workshop. Now the only problem I have compared to a proper track saw is a lack of dust collection. But for no pounds down, you can't have everything. Now this is the part of builds that I like because I get to pull out some hand tools or other tools that I don't get to use often. Always makes me happy when I get to go back to tools that I've not touched in a long time. Nobody needs to say that. So from a business perspective, this is going really well so far. I'm less than an hour at a time. I've not spent any money because I'm just using the leftover materials in my workshop. So far, cutting this out hasn't been a problem. I've still got my routing to go around the top of the sign. But again, this went really smoothly. I should have known at this point that things would never be this smooth all the way through. But it's amazing how easily you lull yourself into a false sense of security that everything is going just great. And at this point, I'm really pleased with how this has come out. What I'm not so happy with is the British summertime you can see in the background. What is all that rain about? And is it going to swamp out and ruin the school's fun run? So after sanding and routing to get the finish that I want on the piece, there's one problem I've got left to address. We've all been there, and it's the furry edges on MDF once you add any sort of finish. To get around this, I like to use an acrylic primer, making sure I pay special attention to the edges, get a good coverage. I give it 2 coats where I'm denibbing in between. That way, when the finished product is up, these edges are silky smooth and it doesn't let the piece down. And this is where the problem started on this project. I got too confident. I'm making really good time. I'm maybe only 90 minutes into this project and I've got a couple of days left to do it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, until you walk away and get distracted by another project. But not to worry, we aren't really that far off, so I've got loads of time. All I need for this project now is a little bit of finish. I've got a new material to use on the logo and everything's going to be done. No sweats. So I go to my go-to finish for MDF and it's a spray paint. But look at the one that I've ordered. It's tidgy. It's tiny. You know it's not going to last. If only I'd have realised that at the time, because my word did this get squirrely. I can't afford this delay right now. We're 36 hours away from deadline and I'm juggling my real world job and making this project. There's no time to waste, so while some more paint is on order, I'm going to move on to do the logo and some lettering. And for this, I have got a new material, and that's to use these foam sheets. I'm going to couple this with my laser so I get a really accurate design. I can have the lettering that I want, and I can also hit the logo 100% accurate. I just don't know what they're going to look like once I've glued them down. Thank goodness for Amazon, because we are back on with this build. Time to get this thing opened and let's crack on and get the last of the spraying done. You know, if you don't throw your paint on the floor. With the painting finally finished and the denibbing done, I am cutting this thing really tight now. Time to move on to gluing down the logo. For this, I've gone to my wood glue. Quite simply, I can put some down on a piece of wood and I can use the international glue spreader that we all have to just dab some on the back. I don't know why I thought earlier about overcomplicating this, because I should know by now the best builds are where I keep it simple. We are there just in the nick of time. This thing is barely dry. We are now at 12 o'clock. The race starts in a couple of hours and I need to get this thing down to where it's going. I am absolutely chuffed with how it's turned out. I have greyed out the school name just for a little bit of privacy. However, I'm absolutely made up, but there is no more time to waste. I must get going, so let's get this piece down to the school so it's all ready for the fun run. Well, after all that, it turns out I was a day early. No wonder there was nobody there setting up for the school run, but never mind. That means that as far as anyone else is concerned, I delivered not only on time, but a day early. The fun run has been a great success. The kids have loved it and the photo opportunities that they've had have gone down a treat. I'd also managed to dish out a load of business cards while I was down there. People were really interested in having a local maker in their area that could do custom projects for them. Let's hope this leads on to a little bit more work for my workshop, but we won't know that for a few more weeks or months. But the initial signs are positive and I'm so grateful for this opportunity to get my work out there and be able to showcase my skills in my local area. It's all well and good putting things on Facebook and similar places like that, but to be able to interact with people, let them get a measure of who I am and what I can deliver for them is absolutely priceless. So for the 2.5 hours that this project's taken me, it's cost me £4 in an extra can of paint. I'm more than made up. Sometimes you can't put a price on this publicity, and if you could, it'd certainly be more than £4. If you're new here, I hope you've enjoyed this video and this style that I'm playing around with at the moment. If you have, I'm Ross, this is Fat Hog Woodworking, and I hope to see you on the next build. But until then, have a great time in your workshop.